Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
As you know, I'm an equal opportunist, and as such, let's take a look-see at this DC, because this thing, well, this thing sets a standard of stupid all to herself. And this DC's name is Brittany Norwood, and she, well, she's a psychopath with homicidal tendencies who is as thick as pig shit. She is one of those DCs that has everything going for her, but feels entitled to that which she has not, which culminated in her stealing from her employer, and that employer was a place called a Lululemon. You see, DC here worked at Lululemon Athletica in Washington, D.C., and she just so happened to be working with a someone that isn't a DC and isn't a waste of sperm and ovaries, and that person was named Jayna Murray. Jayna Murray. And by all accounts, and as it always is, she's a beautiful person inside and out, and has a beautiful Whanau made up of really smart people, which is the exact opposite of Brittany's family. It's gold and coming up. So let's get back to DC and take a look at this quick backstory. So DC's working at Lulu, and she can't keep her hands off stealing clothes, and one day Jayna catches DC hiding some pants in her bag, and we see the genius of DC start to pop its head up. By the way, DC, first, not removing the tags from the pants. Secondly, not coming up with a story to explain the pants in one's bag. Instead saying that she bought them fair and square from some other chick that works at Lulu. But that genius idea kind of backfired, because Genius here just thought that they would believe her, and Jayna would say, oh, okay. But that wasn't quite the case, because she contacted the chick to find out if Brittany is as dumb as she looks, and she is. So DC gets busted. But she doesn't want to lose her job, and definitely doesn't want anyone to know that she's some, mere shoplifter, as that wouldn't do at all. So the day that she gets busted, she comes up with her J for Genius plan. And that would be that she was going to wait till the end of the day and get Jayna alone, and then threaten her into not telling the bosses. So at the end of the day, and all alone in the store, that's exactly what she did. And her J for Genius plan is underway. But you see, that J for Genius plan, it kind of run into a little bit of a problem when Jayna stood her ground and said no. But what Jayna didn't realise is that this isn't a person standing in front of her. It's not even a normal one. She's an Abby. Abby who? She's Abby fucking normal. And Abby puts part 2 of her J for Genius plan into action and murders Jayna. That's her plan. That's her plan, that if she doesn't get Jayna to back off telling the bosses about her stealing $100 pair of pants, that she's going to murder Jayna. And because that would most likely be a bit of a bigger deal to Lululemon management than stealing of the pants, that she would most likely be able to get away with it to steal another day. That is DC for you. And the psychopath of this DC is that she didn't just murder Jayna, she tortured her using multiple sharp and blunt force objects. This fucking thing spent ages doing the stuff that separates her from the rest of humanity. And by the end of it, Jayna had incurred 331 wounds. 331 wounds. And and when you think about that, well, the way I see it, that each one of those wounds is a step away from the line. And what line would that be? Well, that would be the line that distinguishes us from the fucking insect. And something else that Brittany and insects have in common is that if brains were leather, then she wouldn't have enough to saddle a bug, even a small one, because her J for Genius plan part 3 was to create a stage of 1 and make it look like some random men had come to rob Lulu and ended up murdering Jayna. And so luckily for Brittany, that these black guys that are on this stage of 1, that they don't like killing black chicks or even really hurting them much. So lucky, the chance of a luck hypothesis. And what's the chance of a luck hypothesis? Well, I'm going to teach you guys all of that in an upcoming episode here at the channel, and you'll use it from then on when it comes to analysing crime scene stories and J for Genius plans. You're going to use it so much. So smash that like button, and hopefully it just glowed, and turn that bell icon on full, and I can make you smarter than the others Now back to this J for Genius plan and the racist murderer on Brittany's stage. So, let's look at her J for Genius plan, because the start of it was to put on a pair of sneakers and start walking around to give the impressions of another. Genius. Except that's a J in front and not a G, because due to DC here thinking about where she was going to put her feet when she was walking around the store in the stage of 1, she's been apprehensive about where she actually puts her steps, because she can't do two things at once. She's taking little steps. So unless this guy is a black Charlie Chaplin, J for Genius. Second thing with the sneakers is that DC here forgot that she should probably walk towards the exit at some point, unless the black Charlie Chaplin has a teleporter on him. But that's not all, you see. After she finishes up the Charlie Chaplin walkabout, she then washes the sneakers and then puts them back into a box and puts the box back on the shelf where she got them from, because Genius here thought that this plan was too smart to fail, as the cops wouldn't check any size 14s at Lulu. But she's also relying upon that the coppers believing that the black Charlie Chaplin, who decided to rob a store that deals 90% of its sales through cards at a time of early evening when town is still busy, who then decides to stop being a burglar and become a homicidal racist, who is into sadism, has a fetish for wearing used shoes when committing crimes, who's not a shoplifter, and very considerate for store clerks. And as long as the coppers believe all of that, well, then her J for Genius plan just might work out. So what's the next part of this J for Genius plan to get away with murder? Well, she has to think to solve a little problem. You see, she knows that the Lululemon's main manager, the main boss, only just lives down the street a little bit, and Jayna's car's outside Lululemon, and she doesn't want her top boss to come and see the car and get all curious about, hey, why is Jayna still in the store? So in DC's plan here, she has to move the car. So she does. She drives the car to a car park, a few blocks away. And while she's in the car, she decides to take a little nap, for about 90 minutes, as all that Charlie Chaplin walking around the store can make you very sleepy. And we know this because someone witnessed dipshit here sitting in the car for about 90 minutes while she was parked in the car park. And what else makes the moving of the car so genius is that DC did it while covered in Jayna's blood, but didn't think the cops would check that sort of thing. Genius. So the last part of her not getting nabbed for the pants J for Genius plan is she's going to injure herself. So she's going to make it look like she's been tortured along with Jayna. So that's what she did. And it was just so lucky that the black Charlie Chaplin had run out of steam from causing the 331 wounds to Jayna, and that he just could only manage just to scratch DC. The chance over luck hypothesis enters the frame again. So now that she's scratched herself up, she then puts on a pair of zip ties, not too tight, as Chaplin doesn't want to hurt those wrists of hers. And then the last part of her stage 1, she waits till she hears the door open at Lulu in the morning, lays down like this, and acts unconscious, okay? It's not just the fact that when a human being is injured that the natural response from the body, even at a subconscious level, is to go into a fetal position. But DC didn't think that that would look sexy enough and thought that lying like this would be a far better pick. Genius. So that's the backstory, and that leads us to now. And where is now? Well, now is the next morning, and the Lululemon's door just opened, and there's a little jingle in the air, and Brittany, our DC here, has just laid down. Now, let's take it from...
Montgomery County 911, what is the emergency?
I'm opening up my Lululemon store, and the door was completely open, and I hear someone moaning in the back, and it looks like it's been vandalized, and I'm just really scared to go in. Hi, yes, I just called 911 to come. There's 2 people. One person seems dead, and the other person is breathing. The door was open this morning. I think one of my managers came in to open it. Someone tied her up. She's still breathing. Oh my God.
So the coppers and the ambos get there and they take DC to hospital, and this is the first copper interview with her here.
I know that you've been through a lot.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my friend's dying.
Well, I haven't been down to the scene yet. And we actually left like at about 9:45. We left the store. And I got to the metro and actually realized I didn't have my wallet. I called her and let her know I didn't have my wallet. So I just met her back in front of the store. The other guy like drug her in.
Drug Jayna?
Yeah, like by her hair across like the floor. Like into, I guess it's like her storage room, and he was just like repeatedly hitting her. But there was so much blood
From
her.
okay.
And I couldn't do anything. And all I could think was it was my fault because I forgot my
fault.
wallet and
It's not
I
your
couldn't help her. He was like, I don't f with dirty anyway. He told me if I didn't shut up and stop moving, he'd make sure like I never hit kids again. I think I blacked out. Like I don't even remember like how they left. I don't know.
Now it's a couple of days later and DC's at home. So the cops go and have another quick chat to DC story about story number 1 as it's vague as fuck, kind of like her personality.
Describe the guy that assaulted you then.
He was wearing all black. I noticed that he had on some type of mask. His eyes were cut out.
And this is where we get to meet her brother quickly, who just happened to be listening to his sister's story, and this is where you see the link of DC Genetics makeup, as he says to the cops that his sister's story sounds kind of fishy.
Information that I heard it didn't add up. If you're robbing a store, you get in, you get what you're looking for, and you get the hell out of there, because you don't want to get caught. That didn't make sense, that you would take all that time to do all these heinous things and then rob the store.
Genius. So now it's a couple of days later and the coppers bring DC down to the station and hit her up about her vague personality.
I just wanted to go over, some things. Did Jayna say where she was going after she got off work?
As far as I knew home.
Do you know what kind of car she has?
I saw it once, but I don't know the make and model. All you can see is like blood. He tells me that I'm like more fun to with or something. You're lucky you're cute, you're more fun to with. He tells me that if I say too much, he knows where I live. And he tells me he'll kill me.
Where did he get the zip ties from? And, I mean, when? Because it sounds like he was probably with you the entire time.
I don't know.
Because there's a box of zip ties in the back of the storage room.
I'm scared for my life right now.
Okay, and
I don't feel safe.
so what are you saying, that you're holding back because you're afraid? Because, come on, you gotta help us.
I really don't want to talk anymore.
Has she ever given you a ride home or anything? When you were found, your shoes were off, okay? Do you remember how they came off?
So a couple of more days go past and the coppers find Jayna's car, the one that Charlie Chaplin went and parked and fell asleep in. And anyway, it goes on TV, and that's when DC thinks, damn, I thought I would have never gotten caught with that one. So what she does is she finds out that the cops might swab the car. So she wants to get on top of this and makes an appointment to come on in. And this is where you can really see that personality of hers shine on through.
Thanks for coming back in.
Explain to you guys how that night played out. Prior to him sexually assaulting me and zip tying me, they made me move her car.
Okay.
I know where her car is. And they seemed to know where it was, where she was parked.
Okay.
They asked, they said, where are her keys? I have no idea. One of them punched me in my head and made me look through her coat and her bag for them. When I finally found them, they said if I was to pass to anyone and open my mouth, I can consider myself dead. And that one of them would be watching the entire time. And I honestly don't remember the exact lot, but they said to, like, I don't know, like, cross, it's almost like on the other side of Wisconsin or something. And I remember seeing a cop, and I was just too scared to even flag him down, do anything.
You left out some things, okay? So let's see if you remember some others.
Left out what?
Well, as far as like the car thing is concerned.
I know, and that's the only thing.
How did they go about telling you that you had to move the car, okay?
I don't...
Well, you were there.
I know I was there. I had a hat on. It's a black hat.
Okay, why did they make you put the hat on?
I don't know. Do you know how many times they hit me in my head? I don't know why. At that point, I just did whatever they said.
You're walking from the store to the car, and you see a cop car going by, and you said that like you passed a couple of people, and you got in the car and you drove off. Okay. People would probably ask, well, why didn't you just keep on going and not go back?
I was scared for my life.
Okay.
I was scared for my life. That's all I did.
So now the copper hits her up about the answer to the question of why does Brittany have Jayna's blood all over her?
And how did you fall onto Jayna? I mean, were you on your hands and your knees, or straight down, face down?
On my knees.
Okay. Were you straddling her, or were you actually physically, like, pancaked on top of her, or what?
They pushed me on her. They touched her head.
You touched her head? With what?
And then it slid to the ground.
Okay, so your hands got in the blood on either side of her?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's hard.
And blood all over.
You had blood all over you? And then what? And what, did he say anything to you when he pushed you down?
It's my fault.
Okay.
This is because of you.
The copper hits her up about Brittany's cell phone being beside her and how come she didn't, just reach out and call.
Okay, so you remember wanting to crawl to get your phone? Okay. I guess people would ask, why didn't you?
I don't know if I blacked out.
So the coppers finally get to the point where it's just become embarrassing that this J for Jenius Plan of this DC is so ridiculous as her play acting that they've got to spring the goose. And they finally let her know that she is a goddamn DC.
Brittany, comes a point sometimes when we have to break down and get everything off of our chests, okay? You gotta tell us what really happened.
I'm telling you.
Because I know what really happened.
I'm telling you what really happened.
No, what you've done is you've concocted an incredible story that doesn't make any doggone sense.
No.
Listen to me, okay? I've been doing this. I've been a cop for over 30 years. And I've seen a lot of stuff. Sometimes people get into situations way over their heads. And it's like, what the hell am I going to do now? I guess we can start off with the injuries that you have. They're self-inflicted. Yeah, they're self-inflicted. You did this to yourself.
No, I didn't.
And I'll tell you why. I know this.
I would never do this
Yes,
to
you
myself.
did. Yeah. It's incredible that you want me or anyone to believe that you're lying like this overnight, haven't moved, okay? That's posed. As soon as you heard somebody coming in the store, it's like, oh God. So why did you kill her then?
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I never do that. Jayna was my friend.
Okay, then who did kill her? Because there were not two guys in there.
Yes.
No. And I think that you need to, really get this off your chest.
I would never kill her. I would never kill anyone.
I don't think that you meant to kill her. I think that went south real fast for whatever reason, and that you went off.
No.
These guys give you the keys, tell you to go move her car. Okay? A cop goes by, and you don't flag him down.
No, because I was scared.
You get in the car and you drive off and park it and then come back so that they can kill you? Come on. We know what you did. The only remaining question really is, why did it start, Brittany? Okay. I know about the thefts. I know that Jayna found clothing in your bag.
No, she didn't.
Listen.
No, Jayna did not think I stole anything.
So why did you kill her then?
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I never do that. Jayna was my friend.
So the coppers aren't getting where on this confession with the DC. So what they do is they bring the brother and the sister into the room and sprig this on them.
Brittany killed Jayna.
That's not possible.
But it's true.
Can I talk to her for a minute? Alone?
Sure.
And now, well, now this is where you get to see that those apples that surround this family tree don't fall far from it, as Jenius's brother of hers, who just can't wait to get the goods so he can go gossip that he knows stuff that others don't know, and maybe that make him more relatable and cool, decides to put his J for Genius plan into action, getting the goods to make him look cool and outsmarting the cops and giving her legal advice by sinking his sister in the process. It's pure gold.
Should I ask you? Did you?
I want to talk about it here.
I mean, I just
want to go home.
Listen, I don't know if they're gonna let you go. You can just tell me right now. Did you do it?
Chrissy, I just want to go home.
Brittany, I'm not gonna let you out. Did you need to tell me so I know how to talk to these guys? Because if you did, we have to get you a lawyer to defend you.
I just don't want to talk about it here. But I will tell you everything. I'm going to ruin our whole family.
You're not gonna ruin it. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Why?
I don't know how it happened. Chris, honestly, I was doing good. I mean,
I believe.
I really did forgive my mom. I really did.
I believe that. Did she accuse you of shoplifting? Is that what it's all about? Yes.
I didn't think anything.
So DC's great plan comes to an end.
You're going to be under arrest and charged with murder, Brittany.
It's a murder case that has stunned many here in Maryland and even grabbed national headlines. Jayna Murray was laid to rest this weekend after being killed in the yoga store where she worked. Now, in a twist few saw coming, her co-worker has been charged with murder.
As a DC, of course, knows that she's smart enough that she can put a new plan into action and beat the rap. And she's not guilty, and even Charlie Chaplin knows that. So she goes to court and then finds out that the part of her plan to keep someone from hearing Jayna screaming for someone, that nobody would hear it. And nobody did. And in that court, nobody's gave evidence that they didn't hear Charlie Chaplin at all, and that there were only females on that stage. And as DC argued, but Charlie Chaplin was in silent movies for a reason, but no one believed her. So she, DC, was found guilty within 30 minutes. And she is set to spend life where all true DC should be, locked away from being able to step over that thin little line called humanity and join the rest of those fucking insects. Oh, and the DC genius still pressed on as she went for an appeal.
Well, the woman convicted of a gruesome murder inside a local Lululemon store wants a new trial. Brittany Norwood maintains investigators never informed her of her rights, and her attorneys argue that testimony in this case was flawed.
Right? She went to an appeal saying that the cops tricked her into being so stupid, and that if she could get her vague personality taken out, along with her J for Genius Brothers Good Gossip move, that people would know that the black chap in the hat that cut the crap should take the rap. J for Genius, ladies and gentlemen, and all of those in between. This fucking DC is J for Genius.
Nobody in the world is going to believe this story. No one. He doesn't believe it. My boss doesn't believe it. When I tell your brother and your sister, they ain't going to believe it. And your mother and your father, they're going to say, bullshit.
You know, this is a crazy universe of ours that, we're all floating around in. And as in the story from the start that they say that there is light and then there is the dark, good and evil, and all of us are in here with it, floating around inside this universe. And I think that this universe shows us that darkness, every time we come across things like this, DC, the darkness against the light. I also believe that we can do more to dampen that darkness, and the universe gives us this in our universe to fight back. And one of those things that the universe gives us, gives all of us humans on the light side. It's called hope. And that night on the 3rd, when that darkness was attacking the light, hope was there. The universe gave Jayna hope. And that hope was that somebody, that someone, another person of light, that they would hear her cries for help. The universe gave Jayna that hope. And the people working next door heard that call from Jayna, and they did. But hope only exists when humans are around. Remember that. Mana, the light. Hope only exists when there is an actual human in the room. Somebody, someone. And hope would have saved Jayna, but hope wasn't there. Why wasn't it there? Because hope only exists when there's a human in the room. A somebody, a someone. And both of these guys and the actual security employee for the store, the universe gave them that hope. They had that chance to stop the darkness, was given that ability to show oneself for being a someone, a somebody. The universe, our universe, gave them this chance, and they showed us all how weak and pathetic and wretched people have to be to let hope die. Forgiveness is for God. Forgiveness is for God.